So Michael Jackson. This is we're back on with the Sheila Odette, and we're talking about Michael Jackson, and that this is it.
I'm going to do another thing on Michael Jackson.
I just wanted to say, is that on film?
But Jupiter, no, this is it. The movie has been made of the
rehearsals
of the rehearsal process, and it's a way to show the creative side of Michael Jackson without going into the victim martyr side that he had gone through with this whole child thing. It showed him in his element, really performing, and there is a thing in the film with his child laying in nature where this monarch butterfly comes and lays on her head about the rainforest, and it's the most beautiful piece, some of the best film I've ever seen, and it shows how we are destroying the rainforest.
Oh, he would be very interested in.
And it is just an incredible piece of work. Had it been done on the stage in 50 concerts, not as many people would have seen that piece of film as is going to see it through film, because it's not only going to be in film, it's going to be in DVD, it's going to be on all these things, and it's already on the net, from what I understand. And that is just a beautiful, beautiful piece of work at the end of this, about how to love the planet and that we're destroying the planet. And then they bring a tractor up through the floor, this giant thing that's crushing the forest, and they open it up to this noise, it's this rattling noise that shakes you. And then they go to close it to rattling noise, and Michael Jackson says, no, that's not the way to do it. After the destruction is done, there is silence. So you close the tractor or this big piece of equipment in silence because it's done its destruction. Now that's Neptune. That means after the battle in these movies, after all these things happen, when you watch people walk, Neptune is when you watch the priest and all walking through where everybody has died, giving blessings.
Yeah.
It's after the 9/11 thing when people were helping people and moving through the streets. That's the Neptune that comes in after the destruction.
Mm-hmm.
It's that quiet, still. And he was such a showman that he knew that he had that to put you in that state. Now, I'm telling you that because you can relate that to the state that these people were inside of this sweat lodge. They were in a film.
Yeah.
They were in this place that, I don't know what their life, and I have not seen Kirby's chart, and the charts were the people that transcended into the other place. But, maybe, they stepped so far out that it was so beautiful they didn't want to come back.
Oh, yeah. We know that happens to almost everybody.
Yeah, so there's been people, that have said that happened. And now, of course, there is judgment.
Yes. Now, where would judgment come up on this? I'm sure judgment, we don't even have to have it come up, but we know it is there.
Well, Saturn in Sagittarius is huge judgment.
Okay.
Saturn in Sagittarius, when you see Saturn in Sagittarius in a chart, there is a very large authority figure in the childhood of the person. But then there is also almost mythical authority when they grow up.
Well, James Arthur Ray had a huge fall. And
you think
a fall from like a fall from grace, really, but and
from illusionary grace.
Illusionary grace, absolutely, because nobody really falls from true grace. Where would you see something like that in this chart?
It's the same place.
Yeah.
It means the sun. When you have the moon and the sun in the same.
The moon and the sun. Yeah.
Yes. Well, when you have a moon entering from in towards the sun, moving, progressing, applying to the sun, that means an ancient soul.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually in charts. It means somebody, not that they're ancient in the sense of just the word, that might be the wrong word. It means they have gone through a certain lesson in many lifetimes.
Okay.
And they've come here to learn the last little bit of the last lesson to be a master. When you have the moon going away from the sun, as James Earl Ray does,
yes,
that's the beginning of a certain lesson. That is the beginning of something. And a chart like this is Prince William's a lot of them say he's not going to be able to be the prince and rule the monarchy in all the way he should, because he has the moon's the sun and then the moon. But I think my interpretation of that is that his mother, it's going to be a new way of mothering, a brand new way of running this the whole kingdom.
We can only hope.
Well, I'm sure that it is,
yeah.
And I'm sure that Princess Diana, by taking them to the AIDS clinics and taking them out with the people,
yeah.
she was the one that broke through that veil.
Right.
And she did that for Queen Elizabeth, you know?
Yeah.
It's an interesting aspect, and I remember that the progressed son of the one was right on top of the other, of Queen Elizabeth and Princess Diana when she died.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Their sons were progressed together. And so it's a whole different kind of thing that he is doing. It's a new kingdom that he's going to run. It's not going to be like it was.
Yes, thank God. You know, I mean, I always say it's always good if it isn't like it was.
So then
I keep saying that.
Yes, he has Saturn Moon conjunction here, and he must have been totally, you know, the Sagittarius totally ballooned and inspired by this whole secret thing. I mean, just his whole being was inspired by this, as a lot of people's work.
Well, his life was changed by the secret.
But then he did not only just say, my life is changed by the secret, he chose to be a teacher.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we go to the next level. And then when you become a teacher has to remember that the pupil is always on the same level as you.
Yeah.
And when you're in the room with people, then you're showing them something new, but everybody has something different to bring to the table, and you're always on the same level. And you always, if you're on the stage or anything, you have to say, what are they bringing me, and what am I giving them? Am I giving them peace? Or am I giving them energy, or I just want their energy? And what you want, you have to be willing to give.
Where does it show that he? How about his? He's tended to think he had a God complex. Let's say it bluntly.
Well, that's my assumption.
Oh, I think I've heard that.
And my assumption is that not only did he have a God complex, but then when he was asked, inside one of the things that he did afterwards, when two men were there and asked him to address the situation,
yeah,
they were thrown out.
Yeah.
Now, if we would indeed have had Barack Obama, and he would have addressed the situation. That's the difference between somebody who's willing to negotiate and talk and really work something out, and the difference between somebody that I'm God and you don't have the right to ask that question.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's somebody who can negotiate with diplomacy as opposed to somebody who has lost his mind, really.
Yeah, and there's a difference. Standing on the stage, I call that sentimentality. Anybody can stand and cry. Sentimentality is not really, it's what you do. It's not really a conscious, it's not really getting at it.
Right.
You know, really getting at it, as Mother Teresa says, is, you know, writing a $5,000 check and sending it to a woman, the mother of one of these people. That's conscience. Consciousness is going to her house. That's, as Mother Teresa would say, that is consciousness.
Yeah.
Sentimentality is sending the check. Consciousness is going and saying, okay, I'm going to be with you in this grief because I was involved in it and I was a perpetrator in it.
Yeah.
Now maybe he can't do that. You know, maybe he's not that far, but certainly there are immense lessons here for him.
I know.
So,
well, we appreciate this. We're going to put this up on a James Arthur Ray lens, and it will be Sheila, the Astrology's Astrologer, and James Arthur Ray. It'll be great, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Peace, love, and out.
Wait.